Hi, my name is Calen Otto, and I'm here to share my vegan journey on the Inspirational Souls website. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Calen. I'm 21 years old and I live in North Carolina. So something that's more exciting about me is that I started my own travel blog. And I just got back from traveling across the United States. I flew out to California, went to a big animal rights forum, and then I started traveling with no money. And I would just work for things I needed as I went, or I would do odd jobs to pay to get to my next place or for whatever I needed. And this is my second time doing that. So I started this blog so that I would be able to share my adventures, my lessons that I've learned, my activism, and spread the stories of everyone else. And the one thing that I've done to spread stories of everyone else is started a podcast to complement my blog, which is my most favorite thing ever. I interview awesome people that I meet, and a lot of them have actually been vegan, so make sure you check that out. Okay, so enough about the exciting travel blog, which you should definitely check out. We're gonna get into some questions about my vegan journey. And it started for me when I was younger. I was walking around some city with my parents and someone handed me a leaflet and it was urging people to go vegetarian. It was probably by PETA or some company like that. And I remember looking at it and just making the connection and being like, I love animals. Why the heck would I ever eat them? And I realized that all the food that I thought I had been eating were really dead animals and their body parts. So when I was little, I decided to stop eating animals and my parents were really supportive about it. And then sometimes after then I would eat fish because I don't know why, I just didn't make the connection that they were animals too. And as I grew older, I stuck to that. So I didn't know about all the cruelty behind the dairy industry and all of that stuff until I was a little bit older. And I didn't even go looking for that information actually. When I was in high school, I had basically like chronic diarrhea. It was really embarrassing. And I was already in all these social activities. I remember one year I was prom queen and I was just crying because I did not want to go to prom because I had this stomach ache constantly, every day, no matter what I ate throughout my life. I started forming all these anxieties and then it turned into a form of depression and it just really went downhill for a couple years when I couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong with me. And I went to different doctors and none of them could figure it out. They thought maybe I had IBS because it was basically the same thing, but I didn't have that. So finally I went to a more holistic person, and they removed dairy from my diet and started putting me on different supplements. And then they also mentioned the cruelty behind the dairy industry. So I was like, what? I am vegetarian because I don't want to eat others. I don't want to violate their own rights to their body. So why would I eat dairy? From then on, I slowly cut it out. And then one day I just was like, you know what, that's it. I'm done with this. And then I was eating a fully plant-based diet. After that, I started realizing that there was a difference between eating a plant-based diet and living vegan. But it really didn't hit me until I moved to North Carolina. So when I was in Ohio, which is where I lived before, I didn't know one other vegan. And I remember I used to pretend like I had allergies to dairy when I went out to restaurants because I was kind of embarrassed. I didn't want to say that I was vegan or anything like that. When I moved to North Carolina, I saw a Facebook group, these people who were activists, they were all vegan and they were showing slaughterhouse videos in public. And I was like, yes, I have been waiting to do activism, but I haven't known who to do it with or how to do it. And I didn't want to do it on my own. So I drove, actually my dad drove me, a couple hours up to Raleigh and I met up with this group. And that's the first time I really met people who were all about animal liberation and people who are thinking about liberation as a bigger, more general question as well. So that was so refreshing. So from then on, I started picking their brains and I too became one of those activists, and it's probably the best thing that I've ever done in my life. And so I just want to stress that being vegan is great. Eating plant-based is great. But sometimes to me it feels like it's not enough. You know, we have to be speaking out and we have to be actively trying to create change. And I know that we all do this in different ways, and there's no one right way to do it because we need all types of activism. But we really need to make our voices louder, and we need to stand up for what's right and what honestly should already be seen as basic rights for everyone. I've never thought that being vegan is hard. I've never thought that eating plant-based is hard. Even when I travel and I'm dumpster diving or I'm walking into a restaurant that day and asking to work for food, what has been hard is opening my eyes to all the suffering and cruelty, and then walking out into the world and having to participate in this existence where other people don't want to see it, they pretend not to care, or they want to silence you when you talk about it. So my words for new vegans. My advice to you is to cultivate some sort of practice in your life where you can go when you're really angry or really sad or really frustrated or even really happy, and you can connect with yourself. And it's okay to feel those emotions, but have this space where you can connect with yourself and you can sort of sit with them and sort them out if you feel like that's what you need to do. So, now that I've given you this load of stories and information, I'm going to give you one last small piece of information. And these are just my resources and recommendations that I have for you if you are trying to share veganism with others or you're just stepping into veganism yourself. Blogs that I really like to follow and learn things from are, one, my own, which can be found at WanderWoman.online, and from there you can find my podcasts, my YouTube videos, Instagram, all that good stuff. And two is actually my partner's channel, who is also vegan and does a lot of energy healing, and their name is Amani and they run Intuit Hue, so I will put a link for that under this bio. Now, physical things like books and movies. Book, I would read Diet for a New America. Completely opened my eyes, grossed me out, made me sad, inspired me. Yeah, just an all-around amazing book. And the movies that I suggest for you to watch are Earthlings, Cowspiracy, Peaceble Kingdom, and What the Hell. So you don't have to scramble to write all these down or remember them. I will put the links under this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please connect with me on social media and say hi. Let me know what you thought about this interview. And yeah, happy travels. I forgot to mention, something that I'm super excited about right now is that I just applied for my dream job to work in Cancun and get paid for doing what I'm already doing. So if you would like to help me out on this, I will put a link under here that takes you to my application bio. All you have to do is press one button to vote for me. And if you really wanted to, you could vote for me every day up until December 24th, I believe it is. So thank you so much for that support, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thanks.
I just have to turn it off real quick.